Oh, the alignment wheel.
This is the most genius concept that I think I've ever seen in any kind of coaching or personal development. I don't have any drum rolls or any fireworks or anything like that.
Can we not? Can we maybe wait? Thank you. Wonderful. That's really not nice, David. So,
I'm sorry. I love you.
you're not.
I I don't know how to introduce this next topic in a way that does it justice. I don't have any drum rolls or any any fireworks or anything like that, but this is the most genius concept that I think I've ever seen in any kind of coaching or personal development. I don't think anyone has ever looked at it in this way, and I think that this really nails down the entire journey of personal development from start to finish. And that's why I said it this is a lifetime of personal development in one, simplified as much as possible.
Yeah, we're talking about the alignment wheel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's also difficult for me to bring it into words. Um, if you wanna if you wanna look at it spiritually, I would like to say I'm grateful and blessed to be able to be someone who receives such amazing ideas, systems, amazing work, or I'm grateful. You see, I'm having I'm having trouble to find the right words. I'm
Some
grateful
people
and I
some
feel
people would call it divine inspiration.
yes. I normally call it co-creation. So I look at it a little bit more scientific. I'm also a very spiritual person, but I also know a lot about metaphysics and how that works. So you get the impulses and then you create something, and you get the impulses because you created an electromagnetic field within you, so you can match the frequency or the other way around. But that goes too deep here. Yeah, 2019, it always starts with an intention, right? So my intention was to be able to move to Canada to live with you. And the moment I planned this, or I set my intention on that, I opened myself up for impulses and creative ideas and co-creation. And suddenly there was that alignment wheel. And the funny story about it is that I didn't even really know what alignment means. I remember that. And you were always kind of smiling about it because you exactly knew what it meant, right?
I think that I probably experienced a form of alignment when I discovered gratitude.
Hmm.
And because there's kind of an aspect of I always experienced gratitude when I was watching the sunrise. And so this is literally an alignment of the planet to the sun, the orientation of the planet to the sun at sunrise. When the sun breaks over the horizon, it's not actually the sun that's breaking over the horizon, it's the earth that's turning into it. And so the I trained myself to so that sunrise would trigger gratitude in me. And so simultaneously while the earth is rotating um into the sun so that there's a sunrise, not into the sun, but so that there's a sunrise, simultaneously while that's happening, then I have this sensation in my chest of just just overwhelming gratitude. And I don't know if that's alignment or not, but I feel like that's a form of alignment. And so that's what I thought of. That's one thing that I thought of. Yeah. When you came out with this thing, and it it really was more than a person can understand just by making a list out of its parts. The sum is more than the parts. The whole is more than the sum of the parts. How does that saying go? There's a saying called that.
I don't know it. I never heard of it before. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, the whole is more than the sum of its parts. And so, okay, do you want to jump right into it, or do you have more?
No, it's just, yeah, I was able to co-create with the universe, the magnetic field, with God. I'm not here to tell you what to believe, but I was able to co-create the alignment wheel. And you might have heard about the Wheel of Life, which is a coaching tool that helps you to define in which area of your life you're not happy, and where you can improve things. And the alignment wheel is also a coaching tool I was able to co-create. It doesn't exist anywhere else. It's the only version that exists, and it's a coaching tool that helps you to define the areas within yourself that you're not happy with. It's not the outer areas like job, career, finances, relationships. It's the areas that you have within yourself. It's clarity and roots. So it's 12 areas. I don't think I'm going to go over all the areas today. It always starts with clarity. Clarity is the foundation. You have to understand where you are right now and where do you want to be. And this is a course with 21 units to find out where you are and where you want to be. And the second area is roots. And this is for sure, we all need to know where we're coming from, because all the limiting beliefs, everything that we think, 90% of our thoughts come from our past, from our subconscious reference experiences. And you have to understand where you're coming from, and not who are your parents, but also who's your family, because your parents also got influenced by their parents and by their parents and so forth. So roots is a pretty deep course, and it's also an area where you learn that you're connected to the whole, to the, how do you say that in English, that you're part of something bigger. Like there is a whole earth that's kind of helping you and assisting you if you understand this. And then the next area is shadows. And shadows is probably the deepest area you have to go through that. It's your traumas, your triggers, it's the things you don't want to know. It's your inner child that you maybe don't know and you should know because it's so important. It's self-love, self-confidence, joy. It's growth and passion and stillness and abundance and spirituality. And the last area is alignment. Yeah. And it was just there. And I didn't even know what alignment is. I just used the word. I had no idea. And it took me, I think, at least half a year to understand what's the concept behind the word alignment, because it's an English word. It's not used in Germany. Germans, they don't know what alignment means. Yeah, and it basically kind of guides you through everything that's within yourself, not your results on the outside, because to change your results on the outside, like the outside results are always a good measurement. Like the Wheel of Life, it's nice. But change happens on the inside. It never change. Your life does not change when you win the lottery. It will not change. There are also some scientific studies around that, how suicide rates increase with people who win the lottery.
Yeah, certain, and it's a statistic that people who win the lottery are roughly back in their same financial position after about 2 years
Mm-hmm.
that they were in before they won the lottery. So it really is inner work, and
Yes.
that's important. Uh, I I'm just sitting here with my mouth open the whole time you're talking. So and not only completely agreeing, but just astounded um by the depth of it. Like
Mm-hmm.
like if you get clarity, if you get just clarity can make such an impact on your external results, on your life. And that's 1/12 of being aligned. What would happen if you were truly aligned all through all of the what if you scored 100% on every test of the alignment wheel?
So it's like with all the wheels, you don't have to score to 100% in each area. What's most important is that you have a balance in all the areas. So if you have 10% in each area, that's not what we're thriving for, but it would be a life which is balanced. It's probably not the best life you can live, but it's a balanced life. So that's very important to understand, that you're not thriving for 100%. You're thriving for a balance in all the areas. That's very, very important. And I have to say that I can give you nearly no results of people who went through the whole alignment wheel. I could possibly, but the biggest results already came after the first 4 months. So so that, yes, for sure, there are a lot of people who did the 12-month or all 12 courses, but they're so stable and strong and confident and loving and caring and all that already starting in the fourth, fifth months. They don't need the whole thing. The when you come to alignment, that's just a teensy tiny add on to a complete bliss life, full of bliss, completely aligned. If people only start to get clarity what they really want, because most people, I always call it this what's it called when you're the treasure hunt for the forgotten dreams. That's what I call it. But because we forget it, you get kind of soaked into your daily life, you completely forget what your dreams are. And so we go on a little treasure hunt to find them. And that's only, that is a step that can change everything. I had a girl, for example, who wanted to move to the ocean. She couldn't remember this. She only knew it. She loves staying at the ocean. She loves the sound. She loves the smell. She loves the beaches. And during clarity, she was like, "Huh, I totally want to do that." And she was like, "Yeah, but this is no option. Like I have a life to live. Like I have a job. I have a horse. She had a horse, or still has a horse. I live with my parents. We share one big house together. So that's not happening." But the moment you kind of set your intention and you get aware of what your dreams are, you nearly have no chance not to live them. So I can tell you, she quit her job after 4 months, found a new job at the ocean. She lives now at the ocean with her horse, and she still has contact with her parents. So she was able to solve it all in 4 months.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I was thinking about I was thinking about um as you know, I have kind of a story around relationships, and I used to have, well, I have 4 kids, 3 baby mamas, and 0 marriages prior to you. And but at some point I put a stop to it. I stopped getting into relationships that weren't serving me. And I went on this little journey for like 3 years. I didn't know what I was doing, but it started with clarity. I thought, what do I actually want? What kind of relationships do I want? And then I wrote it down. I actually wrote down what do I want in a partner. And then I explored some of my childhood things that made me the way that I was, my roots,
Mm.
and so on, shadows. And then,
You got to know your triggers. You got to
and
know
then,
what your triggers are for a happy relationship. That's
right,
a
right.
must. You got to understand what emotions are, how they work, and why are you scared about things.
What about self-love? Is self-love important in relationships?
It's a must. Yeah.
And so one of the things that I found, that I discovered about myself, that was hindering me in attracting an appropriate partner, was that I didn't have very much self-confidence. So that was the next thing. And then, and so I I'm not going to say that I went through the entire alignment wheel, but what I'm going to say is that I went through the first part of it because I had so much pain in the area of relationships. Obviously, every element of alignment was missing, or a substantial number of them. I don't know if there's like an order that you have to follow, but for me, it was pretty straightforward. I guess if there's an order, it's not an order. Maybe it's just that like clarity is the most elemental thing, and then roots, and then
Yeah.
shadows, and then
And then
and it gets a little more complex, maybe, or advanced, or I don't know
it's
if that's the
pretty
right
it
way
it
to describe it.
it's the first time that I realize it. After that clarity, roots, shadow, self-love, and self-confidence, there comes growth, and then there comes passion. So there is a connection, interestingly, I just realized, to the needs also. Because like growth, it's about energy work, and it's about like the energy in your body, the energy in your mind, the energy in your soul, because this is the foundation for growth. You cannot grow, you cannot leave your comfort zone if you're not taking care of your energy. That's not happening. And passion is probably one of my favorite courses. It's an intuitive writing course, and it has such a power. It's unbelievable. And it kind of to leads you to your purpose. Like, and that's what we're all thriving for. Latest at the midst of the 40s, we start questioning our being here on earth. Why am I here? Is that the life? Is that the word life? Yeah. So yeah, I'm
So
passionate
yeah,
about
yeah.
passion.
Passionate about passion. Well,
Mm-hmm.
I've observed you going through all of the stages of it as you create. So the alignment wheel came first, but then after the alignment wheel came
Mm-hmm.
clarity. So you had to create a course around clarity, or at least
Mm-hmm.
you were inspired to create a course
Mm-hmm.
around clarity, just clarity. And so I was there
Mm-hmm.
in the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
and I observed you creating clarity, and I observed you creating roots, and I observed you creating shadows, and we did a lot of um, talking back and forth during this time. So
Mm-hmm.
um, I was able to contribute a few things as well, even. But watching you go through that process, just in the order that it's in, and up until now. So like, I'm not going to say that you were never a very spiritual person, but the level of your spirituality has definitely changed over
Yes.
just the last few months.
Mm-hmm.
And ironically, when you were creating the course for spirituality. And so maybe it is a journey in a way,
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And
but
first of
I
all, I just want to
also,
mention that's not true. That's underestimated. No, I don't know the right word for it. You're kind of playing small here. Like, because I, first of all, I wouldn't have been able to create that. And yes, it's a co-creation with the universe, and it's we have a co-creation with the universe. It's not me. It's flowing through me, but we that's so typical you. We're discussing every aspect of it. So there's so much you and me and the universe in there. So yeah.
have an abundance of humility,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
but I've had something and I just lost it just now. Hmm.
Mm.
So what I was going to say is, I so I think it's fractal, and what I mean by that is if you if you look at the alignment wheel as a path through life, you probably can look at it that way, like an entire lifetime. Like the first thing I had to learn was to get clear on what I wanted. And the next thing I had to do was connect to my roots. And the next thing I had to do was learn about my shadows and so on. And you can see that in your 20s and your 30s and your 40s, kind of what stages you're in as you go. It's an entire lifetime of personal development. And and at the same time, you can apply the alignment wheel to just a single area of your life, like I did with relationships, even though I didn't know that I was doing it. There was no alignment wheel when I was doing that, but that's what I was doing, was going through that same process. And so I think that it could even be made smaller than that, but it also could be made larger than that. So I don't know if I'm off base there or not, but I feel like it's fractal.
Yeah. I yeah, it's hard to have some words for that. It's a because yeah, you can see in my reaction, it's difficult for me to speak about it even. I feel extremely blessed that I was chosen to bring that creation into the world, and it is a huge success. And that's for me kind of the evidence that my small brain is not able to create something like this. Like I'm pretty smart, but this is so much bigger than I am. And it was while creating it, you went with me through that. It changed me completely. I'm a complete different person. I'm so fearless. I don't want to say I was a coward, but I lived completely in my comfort zone. I'm so fearless in all areas of my life, and it gets better and better. The trust into life, in the universe, it's not comparable to the person I have been. It changed me from the inside out, and that's what it's all about. Change is an inside process. It's not happening. So, for example, a good example is if you're unhappy with your job, and you think you totally convinced, and if you believe, you go to another job and then everything will change. I have to give you the bad news that this is not working, because you create the environment, you create the relationships to your colleagues. And yes, it's not nice to understand that you are the foundation for everything in your life, but that's what it is. Like you cannot change something on the outside and hope that it changes your life. It's always, always, always the change within yourself. And that's a good news on the other side, because you can change basically everything that you already have. You can change your relationship, you can change your financial state, you can change your job without changing it actually. That means you can renew your relationship. You don't have to change your partner. That's good news, I feel.
So I'd like to attempt to give people an idea of the magnitude of the alignment wheel. So the with hopefully without overwhelming them. The video that we're doing right now and the video before this one and the video after it are all each video is a discussion on one lesson inside Clarity. This video is part of the Clarity playlist, and the Clarity playlist is each video is a discussion of one lesson of Clarity. And that's just Clarity. Then there's going to be more on, because there's going to be another playlist on roots, shadows, self-love, self-confidence, etc., and all the way. So I think I don't want people to get overwhelmed by the magnitude of the concept either, though. I just want them to understand that everything that they need is in there. Whatever's missing in your life right now, it's in there. It's in there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And so we can help you find it.
Yes, we definitely can.